Hello, good afternoon. Today our recording going on for Sunil Gangopadhyay's Bangla poetry from 1983, 1985, 1989 for the first Bengali language album of Sunil Gangopadhyay's modern Bengali poetry for All India Radio, Aamar FM, My FM, Radio Mirchi, Red FM, Radio City, Kolkata, and all the Mumbai banks who is looking for Rajat's vocal with a presentation of language study and language structure for online internet market from banks to sell on a different price for the investor. When investor doing work on the language, then banks are always looking for ultimate product to create value for today's market. Investor then gains new revenue from the language work. Today is 16th December 2022, Friday. Today we started work from 12:50 Indian watch time. Today we started work from 12:50. Up to now we have recorded total 5 poetry of Sunil Gangopadhyay. We started from poetry number 3. We started from poetry number 3, then poetry number 4, then poetry number 5. This interview is very important for Rajat Bala to sell this entire recording for YouTube market. YouTube market has to understand Rajat Bala placing money in different style of poetry language which is not film music market. Rajat Bala connected with film music, but in vocal Rajat Bala investing money in different style of language poetry which is not connected with commercial film music money. But we are all the time saying in sound engineering business, new sound is always a new money, new economy, always looking for new inventive measure of introduction of new economy, that is new money. We are creating new sound. We have a poetry from 1983 that we are designing in a new process. We are thinking about the sound movement structure. We think on the sound movement structure, how the sound moving, how the sound will be designed in the entire movement process. Then we are placing our technical notes in the script to design the sound. Now I talk about Sunil Gangopadhyay's first poetry album that is important for today's market. Sunil Gangopadhyay is a very prolific Bengali language writer from Kolkata city. He has a very long graph of literary achievement in Bengali society as a writer. But we have few technical points to talk about Sunil Gangopadhyay's writing process, which is radically very different from prose writing or novel writing. When Sunil Gangopadhyay, as a writer, writing a novel, writing a mystery novel or a detective novel of Kakababu and Santu, he has a linear flow of story narrative to convey to the writer. As readers, we are able to understand Sunil Gangopadhyay's prose writing or the novel writing, style of language, style of the flow of meaning. But when Sunil Gangopadhyay creating poetry story, each single poetry is a story. Each single poetry is a story. When readers are not able to communicate with poet's sense of narrative flow in a story written in a poetry, then we are in trouble to understand the narrative structure, to design the sound. If we can understand a story, if we can understand the flow of narrative written by the poet in a story, then we can design the sound according to the demand. But if we are not able to understand the flow of narrative, a poet has his own ego of using language. I am a poet, I am writing for 1,000 readers, I have my own ego to design my own language sense, to create my own sense of story. When a poet's ego is contrast in the structure of the story language, the structure of the narrative flow, then we are in trouble to design sound for a new economy. If our designing process of the sound doesn't make any impact in that new economy, then we don't earn money. We are blocked in a production. We are investing money, but we don't earn money if the sound designing process doesn't make sense in the process of telling a story. Storytelling process is money. You earn money as an investor in the storytelling process. If your language style is linear, if your language style is not linear, your money earning process will be difficult. Today we discuss Sunil Gangopadhyay's first poetry album. That album title we are placing on YouTube market for the Bengali, West Bengal, Eastern India, Tripura, Assam, Meghalaya, Odisha, Arunachal Pradesh and Mizoram, Bengali region, to discuss this story of this title. This title has a story, first poetry album of Sunil Gangopadhyay's. Then we have to place this album in Bangladesh market, Malaysia Bengali market, in London Bengali market. We are connected with BBC Bangla. BBC Bangla is a very busy business network in Bangla language in London. We are connected with that BBC Bangla to convey our new style of creation. New style of creation is very much required for BBC Bangla, for them to understand what kind of work Rajat is doing in Kolkata in Bangla language. Being a Nifty 1 investor in Mumbai, we discuss the first poetry album title. This title will create a new kind of impact in Bengali market. According to my script, Sunil Gangopadhyay, Bangla poetry, first album by Indian vocal artist Rajat Bala Subramaniam Chaudhary, Kolkata, India. First poetry album title, Tumi Ritspinde, Tumi Ritspande, Dao Alo Utser Jhankar, নবীন যৌবন, স্পর্শ উষ্ণ হাওয়া, স্তব্ধ নীল আকাশের দৃশ্য, অন্তহীন পটভূমি, যা এক সুচতুর গোপন প্রেমিক রাত্রির নির্জনে নির্মম মুহূর্তে প্রার্থনা করে। কবি সুনীল গঙ্গোপাধ্যায়ের কাব্য আলোচনার দৃঢ় আকাঙ্ক্ষা আর ভীত চক্ষু সীমানা প্রান্তে বেঁধে দিয়ে তুমি ক্লান্ত অবসন্ন হয়ে বসে পড়ো সূর্য স্বরে আহত মাটিতে। I repeat this Bengali language poetry album title one more time for the Bengali market to discuss the meaning of the title. This title grabbing 20 poetry of Sunil gangopadhya to illustrate the sense of 20 poetry. Repeating the title in Bengali language, the first poetry album title, Tumi হৃৎস্পন্দে দাও আলো উৎসের ঝংকার নবীন যৌবন স্পর্শ উষ্ণ হাওয়া স্তব্ধ নীল আকাশের দৃশ্য অন্তহীন পটভূমি যা এক সুচতুর গোপন প্রেমিক রাত্রির নির্জনে নির্মম মুহূর্তে প্রার্থনা করে কবি সুনীল গঙ্গোপাধ্যায়ের কাব্য আলোচনার দৃঢ় আকাঙ্ক্ষা আর ভীত চক্ষু সীমানা প্রান্তে বেঁধে দিয়ে তুমি ক্লান্ত অবসন্ন হয়ে বসে পড়ো সূর্য স্বরে আহত মাটিতে। I repeat the Bengali album title one more time for your sense to grab the meaning. তুমি হৃৎস্পন্দে দাও আলো উৎসের ঝংকার নবীন যৌবন স্পর্শ উষ্ণ হাওয়া স্তব্ধ নীল আকাশের দৃশ্য অন্তহীন পটভূমি যা এক সুচতুর গোপন প্রেমিক রাত্রির নির্জনে নির্মম মুহূর্তে প্রার্থনা করে কবি সুনীল গঙ্গোপাধ্যায়ের কাব্য আলোচনার দৃঢ় আকাঙ্ক্ষা আর ভীত চক্ষু সীমানা প্রান্তে বেঁধে দিয়ে তুমি ক্লান্ত অবসন্ন হয়ে বসে পড়ো সূর্য স্বরে আহত মাটিতে। We convey the English meaning of the title. You give the jingling sound of source of light in my heart beats new youth touching warm wind the sight of halted blue sky in the endless dramatic bass which in a hidden clever moment of lonely lovers night in the merciless moment to pray for poet Sunil Gangopadhya's poetry discussion with strong desire and fearful eyesight to try at the far border then you sit with a tired face looking towards sun arrow on wounded ground. It's a complex sentence which is conveying the sense of 20 poetry written in 1983. To understand the meaning, we again talk about the English meaning of the title. English meaning of the title, you give the jingling sound of source of light in my heartbeats new youth touching warm wind the sight of halted blue sky in the endless dramatic bass which in a hidden clever moment of lonely lovers night in the merciless moment to pray for poet Sunil Gangopadhya's poetry discussion with strong desire and fearful eyesight to try at the far border then you sit with a tired face looking towards sun arrow and wounded ground. This English meaning of the title can give you a sense of language representation of Bengali language poetry in the sense of dramatic communication of poetry narrative. Again, I'm repeating the English meaning of the title. You give the jingling sound of source of light in my heartbeats new earth touching warm wind, the sight of halted blue sky in the endless dramatic bass, which in a hidden clever moment of lonely lovers' night, in the merciless moment to pray for poet Sunil Gangopadhya's poetry discussion with strong desire and fearful eyesight. To tie at the far border, then you sit with a tired face, looking towards sun arrow on wounded ground. I talk about few poetry of Sunil Gangopadhya, which I have recorded. The recording style is very unique. I am all the time thinking about how to design the sound, how to represent the sense of poetry in a new style of sound. That sound will create sensation in today's Bangla economy. The album has to make money. The album has to gross more than 6 lakhs, 7 lakhs from the market. Then there is a success of the album. In this album production process, total cost from RAJAT bala going over 1,10,000, 1,20,000 for 9 weeks, 10 weeks to complete an album with 20 poetry, background music, score, selection of background music taking a long time. Each poetry theme, each poetry story has to connect with the Western style of background music selection from the list of copyright less music, copyright, non-copyright music. Then we have a lot of hard work on background music doing from different stock music, different YouTube non-copyright music. The first poetry I recorded, that is Prarthana, a prayer. In this first poetry, poet talking about the hunger in trunks of big trees. The hunger in trunks of big trees, blue sky with far horizon. My birth in the sunlight, arrow of wounded soil. My birth in the sunlight, arrow of wounded soil. My birth in the sunlight, arrow of wounded soil.